Hi, I'm Andrea, and this is Making Dollars and Cents at the Box Office. Once again, the Lego Batman movie took the top spot, so I'll keep this short and sweet like a Lego when I say that it made $33 million, only dropped 35% from its last weekend, and by the end of Monday night, it's earned over $100 million domestically. And while I really don't want to talk about this other film and give it any more attention than it's already been given, it did take the number 2 spot, so my hands are tied. 50 Shades Darker earned a little over $20 million last weekend, and earned another $44 million internationally, which brings its grand total to $276.9 million overall. Though personally, I will never understand how a Twilight fanfiction can turn into something this massive, especially when Christian Grey's character is the textbook definition of a domestic abuse partner. All the telltale signs are there, especially when you see how he has complete control over Anastasia, whether it's how she dresses, who she's with, where she's going, and then you see how he constantly demeans her for any slight imperfection she may have. But instead of making a statement about domestic abuse, this film romanticizes it. Grey is depicted as this dreamy guy that all the girls fantasize about. But when every 9 seconds a woman is assaulted or beaten, and 1 in 3 have been physically abused by an intimate partner, this is not a fantasy, it's just the everyday life of so many. Art and movies have this incredible power to set the moral standard for our society, and it's heartbreaking for me to see this movie with those themes setting that standard for our pulp culture. Moving on to something else not so great, The Great Wall opened this weekend to a very disappointing $18.4 million and a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. Considering the film itself cost $150 million to make, it is the most expensive Chinese film ever filmed in China. Part of the reason for the backlash is because Matt Damon was chosen alongside the racially accurate Asian cast. Although the director himself has said that Damon's character was never meant to be played by someone of Chinese descent. William is taken prisoner at the start and spends a good portion of the movie either in shackles or behind bars. He's never the king or viewed as a king. In fact, it's the Chinese that show him the importance of trust and compassion. He's no more than an excellent archer used in their army. With that being said, this film leaves a lot to be desired. Matt Damon's performance is lackluster, at best. It's his inconsistent accent that should really be getting critiqued, rather than his skin color. Just making the top 5, newcomer Fistfight earned $12.2 million and only a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Those numbers, along with many reviews saying that the satire on the American education system falls short, really only giving people a raunchy rated R comedy that they will forget about the very next day, has me thinking Charlie Day and Ice-T are also going to be fighting to stay anywhere near the top spots these next coming weeks. Finally, though it barely cracked the top 10, and I wish it'd done so much better, A Cure for Wellness opened in theaters this weekend, making only $4.3 million, which is only 10% of its budget, unfortunately. And believe me when I say that I was not well after watching this, in the best way possible. There were multiple times when I was literally curled up in my seat, hands covering my eyes, wanting so badly for Dane DeHaan's character to figure out a way to leave the wellness center, just so I could as well. You feel trapped and scared and confused right along with him, yet there are also moments when I was completely entranced with this world I was being drawn into. The cinematography, coloring, and sound design are all top-notch, and it's overall just a beautiful piece of art to stare at for 2.5 hours. This weekend, Rockdog dances in the theaters. Luke Wilson voices a dog named Bodhi who pursues his dream of becoming a musician after a radio falls from the sky? Based solely on the trailer, it looks like this could either be a quirky, lighthearted kids movie with lots of singing and dancing, or it could actually say something meaningful about following your dreams, even when it seems that nobody else does. And I really hope it's the latter. We are also getting a couple more thrillers to enjoy with Get Out, which is Jordan Peele's directorial debut, where he uses the story of an interracial couple visiting a creepy family estate to give insight into modern views and assumptions about race. It stars Daniel Kaluuya and Allison Williams, and it looks like it's going to be fantastic. Last, but sure to make an impact, is Collide. It's the story of Casey who, in order to pay for his girlfriend's medical bills, attempts to pull off a drug heist. With a cast of Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones, and Anthony Hopkins, we'll see if audiences collide with Collide this weekend. That's all for this week. Make sure to go to the theaters and support an artist or two. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, or like if you want to join the conversation. Enjoy the Oscars this Sunday, and we'll see you next week on Making Dollars and Cents at the Box Office.